Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And today, we're going over another uncomfortable truth about this lovely digital boat game. An uncomfortable truth is a statement or a take, while unpopular, is true. To be clear, this is primarily for entertainment and fun, a concept that the player base has a harder and harder time comprehending. In the same vein of that, I'm not a CC, nor supported by or affiliated with wargaming in any way, state, or form. Just getting ahead of those of you that are already reaching for your keyboard. Instead, I have a Patreon that helps fund the ship reviews and other videos that we do here on the channel, like the museum ship videos and other IRL videos. If you feel so generous and would like to make more content like this happen, you can check out that in the description down below. Now let's get to it. So our uncomfortable truth for today is that wargaming is not that greedy.
What did you just say?
At least when it comes to World of Warships. At first glance, most of you might think I'm crazy for saying this. How could you say that, Sea Lord? We have to pay $50 for Tier 8 premium ships or $70 for Tier 9 ships. And have you even seen the grind for Tier 10 ships? Is it really, though? Let's take a step back and look at some other examples. War Thunder just had a revolution, and finally now, after 11 years, they are just getting free fire extinguishers on their vehicles. That's right, in War Thunder, you couldn't put out fires that got started on your vehicles unless you had researched or purchased with gold extinguishers. Even on vehicles like the M1 Abrams that comes straight from the military-industrial complex with a fire suppression system, you had to research and pay for a fire extinguisher. This, of course, leads you to simply getting clapped since you cannot put out fires and you're doomed to watch your crew get cooked alive. Same went for parts for repair. That's right, if you broke a track or your turret got knocked out, your turret ring got knocked out, your transmission got knocked out, which is something that happens quite a lot in War Thunder, you couldn't repair your vehicle. Compare that to World of Warships, where the devs removed standard consumables years ago, and now everyone just has premium consumables by default. Then we have the grind. Do ya really want to say the grind in World of Warships is bad? My brother in Christ, you haven't seen a grind till you've played War Thunder. It literally takes months and months to grind up to a top tier vehicle. And guess what happens in those months and months that you're grinding up to that top tier vehicle? A new one gets introduced that's even better than the one you've been grinding to, and probably has some broken new weapon or some type of weapon system that makes your top tier vehicle completely useless now. You want to grind a whole tech tree in War Thunder? See you in a couple of years. Then let's step outside of the weird mid-20th century tiered vehicle combat genre and take a look at other games. You have GTA that just straight up removed 200 and something cars from the game, in the game that's about stealing cars, so you can't steal these 200 and something cars anymore, even buy them now. Then every new vehicle costs umpteen billion dollars no matter what it is. Rewind back to when you could buy the GTA Bugatti Veyron for just 1 million GTA dollars, while now a simple muscle car costs something like triple that, even though it's nowhere near as good. Why is inflation in GTA somehow worse than real life? Well, Rockstar's gotta sell them shark cards.
That was rude. Please.
Ubisoft is worse than the boomers at gun shows selling $150 Mosin-Nagants for $700 saying, I know what I got. I finally picked up Ghost Recon Breakpoint because Steam did its thing and put it on their summer sale. Last time I checked a few months ago, Ubisoft still wanted $60 for this almost half a decade old game. And this is a game I've been wanting to try out because I liked Ghost Recon Wildlands and I liked the old Ghost Recon games, but I didn't want to pay $60 for a game that at the time when I originally checked in on the Ubisoft store was a 3-year-old game. Again, almost 2 years later, it wasn't for the summer sale, they're still charging $60 for this game. This isn't unusual for Ubisoft. You have Assassin's Creed games that are older than this that they're still wanting $60 and $50 for, even though they're, again, almost half a year old. So, yeah. And we haven't even talked about Mr. Copy Paste, but the point is that in comparison to the rest of the state of gaming, World of Warships is in a pretty nice spot. Yes, some things have gotten a little more money hungry with some more recent events, which is why I like to point out those events and cover them in videos when they do pop up, but even those are completely optional events for now. And if you do look at some of the literally the best ships in the game, they are completely free. Napoli, it's a coal ship. Burgon, it's a steel ship. Palmered, that's another coal ship. Ragnar, who is inherently not OP, that is a steel ship. While yes, the steel ships might take some time to get to, you can still get them for free. Coal ships take much shorter, at maybe a month or two to acquire, so about the same time as a top tier vehicle in War Thunder. But if we're looking at Techline ships, it's not that hard to get to a tier 10 in a few weeks if you know what you're doing. Yes, some newer players do take time to learn the game, and that does take, of course, quite a bit longer. Myself, when I started playing this game, before I even had an idea, a faint clue of what I was doing, I got to the Montana in I think in 3.5 weeks, maybe a month, and that was without even using premium for most of that grind. But why are premium ships $50 and up for higher tier ones? Why does Wargaming put out some crazy events at times in this game and try to separate you from your hard-earned cash? The truth? Well, believe it or not, they have to pay their staff. I know for some this is a hard concept to understand, but in most countries, you have to pay your employees for their time. This game is free to play, meaning that when you downloaded this game, you do not have to pay a single cent to Wargaming. However, the game receives constant updates, bug fixes, and bugs themselves. Servers are kept and maintained. All of that is done by human beings. For now, at least. I know some think that the game is ran by gerbils, and at times, it certainly does feel like it, but it's not. Keep in mind, too, that inflation has been on the rise recently, and despite that, the prices for premium ships haven't really gone up much. Here in the US, most new Tier 8 premiums are $50, which is only about a $2 increase in the past 6 years that I've been playing this game. Like, literally, when I started playing this game, I bought a Tirpitz for $48. And here we are, 6 years later, and again, the average price of a Tier 8 is $50. So a $2 raise. Which really isn't that bad in comparison to everything else. Especially when you consider most AAA games have gone from, well, shit, I remember they were $20 on the PlayStation 2. They've gone from $20 to $60, now they're on the way to $70 and $80 now. Also be aware that there's no real competitor to World of Warships. Oh, War Thunder Naval, you say? And rather than nickel and dime their player base because we have literally nowhere else to go, we have a pretty sweet setup, truth be told, with occasional screw-up from Wargaming at times. The recent Jaeger event is a prime example of this. A free tier 9 that the average Joe could, and many of you guys did, I know because you commented on my Jaeger review about it, grind out completely for free. The Brisbane event was another pretty decent event as well, although, where Brisbane? Another thing is premium time. Premium time is still, to this day, the single best thing you can buy in this game in order to improve your grinding speeds and make sure you're pretty much earning credits almost no matter what it is that you're doing, unless you're playing a super ship, which is something that is specifically designed to ensure that you lose credits when you play it. Premium time is not even that bad. You can get it 50% off during their anniversary event and normally during the end of the year event with the Christmas container event or whatever they're doing for Christmas and New Year's. You get it 50% off for a year of it, and that ensures that you are essentially making profit unless you really screw up, like you die in the first 2 minutes of the match, or you simply don't do anything for the match. If you have premium time and do something in your game, you are going to make credits, which are of course the real grind in this game. And yes, they have been doing a lot of things recently to try and sap some of the credits out of our wallets, but still, it's not a bad grind overall. Overall, the truth is, World of Warships is honestly one of the best free-to-play games I've played, and I've touched quite a few of them. Yes, of course, there are events and, containers to try and get you to spend your money on that and get, XYZ a little bit sooner, but pretty much everything that comes out in those containers, at least new stuff at least, are introduced into the shop or the armory, albeit quite some time later, again, with the Brisbane. And there's no real content locked behind a massive paywall like some other free-to-play games just outright do. And even the grind to get the ships that do get released early, if there is an option to grind them again like the Jaeger, it's really not that bad. Like the dockyard events, truthfully, aren't anything terrible, except for, of course, the first one to Puerto Rico, and thankfully the devs took their feedback there and actually listened, and now the dockyard events are some of the single best events that I've seen in the free-to-play world. So, again, I know sometimes it looks like that, yeah, the devs are trying to, you know, just nickel and dime us here and there, but overall, it's really not that bad. And you can very easily, again, get some of the best ships in this game, have a fantastic time in this game, with spending absolutely $0. I know quite a few players that have never spent a dime on this game, yet they got Palmer, they got Napoli, they got Burgon, they got Ragnar. They would have some ships you can buy for doubloons, because Wargaming does give us quite a bit of doubloons every now and then. If you just hold on to them, you can get an outright premium ship without paying a single cent into this game. There's not a lot of free-to-play games on the market today that actually let you do that anymore. So we have a pretty sweet setup here, at least for now. Again, with the direction that a lot of free-to-play games are going, we'll see. But for now, it's pretty solid. And that's my 2 cents in the uncomfortable truth. Originally, we're going to have a couple more, but I'll save those for a later video, because if I added in the 2 or 3 more that I was including in this video, it would be like a 30-40 minute video. And that's a little bit too long in my opinion. But again, you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. Keep in mind, guys, it was primarily for entertainment and to have some fun and to poke fun at ourselves, but have at it in the comments. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We're ready to 50,000 subscribers, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. Hope you guys have a great Wednesday. Have a great rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.